opposition. Both of these teams, though, we mentioned the fact that they're not very bloodthirsty, Wolf, and I think these drafts are also going to indicate that we may have a slower start.
I think so.
Game.
I think so, and I think that it's painful for Showmaker. You could feel the hesitation going into that Syndra pick to have to kind of take a back foot in this lane, potentially play a little bit more passive, Orange Stun or Syndra Stun, really more realistically. But it's in this game functionally just to make sure that Ghost can maximize damage, but also be able to escape.
Yep, sometimes predicted as this matchup, not great for the old Ornn, as Kiin picked it up blind, and Kiin had the gangplank there to make sure that things were going to go okay, as Fly's already having an awful time in this lane. Cancelled by Lehens.
There is some movement here, actually, from Dread to try to relieve this pressure because he knows Graves isn't here, so they're actually going to collapse.
Yeah, it's a big flash barrel. Immediately going to flash out as now Ghost takes a very short lantern ride, but I think it might be enough to keep them alive. Flash and heal now down from support and AD respectively.
Yeah, but somebody might die as Kiin is rotating down. I think Canyon has found himself in a really awkward spot here, but they're going to collapse.
Oh no. Gameplay button comes through, but the stopwatch is there for Dread. He's going to be able to flash out, but Canyon has a flash for him. Dredge line there to try and keep him alive, and that blast cone was amazing out of Lehens. Will take a fair bit of damage for it as the bowling ball flies past, but isn't going to be able to get anything. And we have no first bloods, but we do have potentially a turret plate going down. As I say it, Lehens going to get exhausted here. Titan's Wrath comes in, but that's a good hook from Beryl. Cannon Barrage comes through, and Lehens is going to survive. So
he's got his, oh no.
Yeah, he does have the lilting lullaby. There is a lantern ride as he falls asleep. Ghost is going to have to sacrifice Beryl here. I think the Flay does absolutely nothing. It's a great sidestep there from Bang as Canyon's over the wall. Dread is going to trade this one for one. But first blood gold will go over to a Freaker, and that's going to work out in their favor. Ghost.
I'm not going to pressure you into a performance right now, but you know. Just keep it in mind at home.
It might get to the point where we're going to be experimenting with accents at this stage of the game already, Wolf, because we've got things. It's very, very close. It's neck and neck, but feels a little bit like a no-rush 20, much like Valdez and I were experiencing yesterday, as Canyon's looking to try and prove me wrong here, coming for a potential dive. As there's the Ornhorn from Kiin, will get the knock-up onto the gangplank. He flashes, but you can't flash twice, and the collateral damage will pick him up. The trade will be there with it coming through from Kiin. The utility is great from Kiin, as sleep does come through. Depth charge comes down as well. Dredge line's good, as there's the shockwave. Only lands onto one, but that might be all they need as Bang looks to try and collect the kill with the Void Seeker, but instead just has to agree that he'll take down Beryl, and already things working out for a Freaker to allow Canyon to get in there at all.
Yeah, it's just going to make it so difficult to play around that bot side, and when you have, hold that thought, Dread, that is only his
trouble here, spins around a lot as there are so many AoE abilities that will be picked up by Canyon in the end as Fly cops a gameplay button to the face, and has to run out of there.
The Aphelios, if he can get into position, they're actually just not here, simply put, and that's just going to go over a free. Damwon Kia to get something else on the map. They're just going to lose this fight.
Yep, massive CC chain there onto Canyon. He wasn't allowed to play the game. They just said no. And Lehens has been playing very, very well in this one. Fly, decent flash, gets him out of the way, and just the tip of the hook. Not quite enough. Yeah, I'm not going to...
Let's be hopeful, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Wolves Cup, forever half full. I absolutely love it. As Kiin has quite a large advantage. He's been parlaying a bunch of minions here. As Canyon, oh dear, he's going to have a snooze, but not before taking the blast cone out. The flash after from Dread, but Canyon's going to flash his way away, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you take
Dread's
the game.
Flash, but I feel like that's a lot more valuable on a Graves a lot of the time, as you're going to see a big engage here.
Yep, Bang gonna have to flash out as well, as a lot of damage from the Lilia, and that no flash that you were talking about comes into great effect here for Damwon Kia as this Mountain Drake has just spawned. Those four
what sort of damage are you really hoping for there? Just a small mistake that cost them big.
Well, this one might cost them as well, as there's the exhaust down onto Kiin. Thankfully, Kiin can just build himself summoner spells whenever he loses them. Now has his teleport back as he takes down this inner turret on the bottom side of the map, and
he could do a lot in this upcoming fight with a big stun.
Well, Cannon Barrage is going to try and zone them away from this Baron, as Beryl is the only one that might get sleepy here is Kiin. This goes in, man. He's able to get out of there as well, but no harm, no foul. Freaker will just back away. And they're going to surrender vision control over to Damwon Kia at this stage. So a little bit unfortunate, nothing really to be gained there, as I believe Ghost was just chilling in this mid lane, continuing to farm. So that's a nice double stun out from Showmaker, just grabs the pick onto Lehens. He'll trade it, but takes a lantern to get himself out of the way of the shockwave, and that is going to be another comfortable kill. The triple sleep from Dread is just way too late, and Damwon Kia will take down the inner turret here as well.
Sleep is too late, but the damage output of Ghost is just too high. You know, he's actually doing insane work when given this free front line.
A few extra stats, doesn't really mean too much. Is Canyon going to take a lantern, gets himself out of almost all of the CCs. Lehens just going for the forced engage. There's the shockwave, they get rid of Canyon. Ghost has to flash, but Bang has a flash after him, as the Moonlight Vigil not going to be enough, and Beryl also going to get tidied up here by Afrika. So many Barons now missing, as Khan going 1v5. Showmaker's here, but he misses the stun. Khan has the flash. I'm just not sure whether that teleport was the greatest of ideas. As he then gets put on a leash by Showmaker. That was actually adorable.
Decisive decision-making in late game on the Kai'Sa he's had is... Okay, Fly.
Yeah, Fly caught out of position. Didn't have anything available. No flashes were going to save him from that one. And that is going to mean Damwon Kia just walk towards this inhibitor turret, and Kiin's like, where my friends at? And Bang's like, I'm in a side lane as per usual. And Damwon Kia very easily just shred this turret down. Ghost has exactly the right weapons for doing as much turret damage as possible. And this inhibitor not long for the world either. And this is right when the Baron is back on the map. They've got lanterns to take as well. And you were talking about timings, Wolf. This is exactly that.
This is again one of those trades that Damwon Kia is like, oh, perfect time for you to have a one player out of position mistake, because we've got Baron up. The player you lose, Fly, is one of the best ones to control this zone that Afrika have with Shockwave. And I mean, even walking over here is probably overzealous. Just going to try to chunk down Damwon Kia, who do get the Baron.
It was great capitalization from Damwon Kia, and Lehens is now... I'm not even sure. He's going on a merry ride as Ghost is going to chase after him. He's got Gravitum, so that's just going to be a stun and destruction out from the Aphelios. And once again, I mean, it feels like Afrika have kind of fallen apart at this stage of the game, figuring that they don't have very much that they can actually do.
Lehens
is being put down.
Yep, Lehens is just grasping at straws. I mean, he was hoping for a flank hook to set up for a pick. Maybe see a killer instinct coming after that and isolate a target, but looks silly when it fails, you know?
Absolutely. Another Ornhorn is going to land right on top of Fly. Cannon Barrage, pretty decent here. As Ghost, I believe, threw out the ultimate. No, actually still holds onto it. But they're still able to grab themselves the turret. This inhibitor going to be the next prize on their mind. The bottom lane actually slow pushing in for Damwon Kia as well, I believe. So great control of these minion waves.
Look at Dread. He wants to set up a big sleep. That's their window back into this. It only hits two, but they could collapse. They have to.
They had two very good ones, as the stopwatch is fantastic. Timing on the shockwave also good, but not good enough. Moonlight Vigil comes down, and Lehens has to go into his stopwatch to avoid it. Canyon's going to go down, I believe, very, very far away from the fight, but Showmaker is a raid boss right now, able to eviscerate anyone that comes near him. And there is no one beefy enough to stand on the front line. I mean, Lehens was their only real choice, and he wasn't even strong enough, really, as Khan. He's the super tank, and another kill going over to Showmaker. That's an unofficial triple, I believe, as now he's looking for his next one. Ghost is going to be able to pick it up, and ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the game. Damwon Kia will be able to take down these Nexus turrets, then the Nexus, and then get themselves some reprieve after their difficult series against Bro.
Ornhorn one more time. Khan escapes. Calculated.
Absolutely.
Well, Atlas, this is definitely not a game that anyone's going to write home about, but Afrika Freaks have struggled in the late game. Across all series they've played, they've been stronger in early game.